topic. So now we are going to see how to declare a pointer to a structure in C programming and how to access the members of the structure with the help of that particular pointer. Okay, so first, whenever you want to work with a pointer to structure in C, you have to follow certain steps. Okay, first step is you declare the structure, that is, you define the structure. Okay, in structure definition, we are simply going to follow any one of the three methods to define the structure. Here I have followed the tagged structure. Okay, you can use any of the three types, it is up to you, but always try to avoid the first tagless structure. Go either for tagged or otherwise the third category, type def. After you create the structure, that is after you define the structure, the next step is you have to declare the structure variables. So how to declare the structure variable? So you have to use the keyword struct followed by name of the structure followed by the variable name. This is called a structure variable declaration. So when this structure variable is declared, compiler will allocate memory to the structure. So according to this example, 14 memory locations will be allocated. After that, now our aim is we want to declare a pointer to the structure. So if I tell you declare an integer pointer, you will write int star p. Okay, but now you have to declare a pointer to the structure. So you will write instead of int, you will write something, then star ptr. Okay, the star ptr is going to tell the compiler that ptr is a pointer. Now it is pointed to what type? That only we are writing here. So it is pointed to struct student. Okay, so you should now write struct student. Remember, if you forget again struct, you will get error because it is tagged structure. Every time in case of tagged structure, you have to give the keyword struct also. Okay, now I have created the structure variable, then I have declared the pointer to the structure also. What is the next step is, I have to make this pointer to point to the structure. Now the pointer will be created, but it will not have the address of the structure. So now you have to make the structure to point to the, you have to make the structure pointer to point to the structure. So can anyone tell me how I can make this PTR to point to the structure S1?
PTR equals to ampersand of S1.
Yeah, PTR is equal to ampersand S1. So when you write PTR is equal to ampersand S1 stands for the base address of the structure. So your structure will be stored in continuous memory locations as I have shown you yesterday. Whatever is the starting address, that address will be stored in the pointer PTR. Okay, so now how you can access the members of the structure by using either the structure variable S1 or otherwise you can access the structure members by using the pointer variable PTR. Now you can see the previous slide. Here we have created S1, which is a normal structure variable, but PTR is a pointer to structure. You can access this name as well as age either by using this S1 or by using this PTR. So how to access by using S1, you will write S1.name, then S1.age. Now how to access with the help of PTR? That only we are going to see as new concept in this. So to access the structure members using S1, you will write S1.member_name. Okay, so S1.name, S1.age. If you access the structure members using pointer variable PTR, you have to write PTR. See here, this operator is called as arrow operator. How to type this operator in your keyboard is, you don't have any key with arrow. You have to first type this minus symbol. After that, you press the greater symbol. Okay, you have to type 2 characters in your keyboard to get the arrow. Type minus and then greater. Okay, then you will get the arrow. So instead of this dot, you have to now type this arrow symbol. Okay, so if you use dot, you can use a normal structure variable. But if you use arrow symbol, you will use a pointer to the structure. Okay, so use the PTR, it is a pointer, then type the arrow symbol, then whatever member you want to access, give the name of the member. Here I want to access name. Then I want to access age. So I will write PTR arrow age. Instead of this arrow operator, you have another way also. I told you, you can write PTR arrow name. Instead of that, you can even write within parentheses star PTR, then dot name. Both are equal. Either you can follow. Actually, our aim is we need to access a structure member using the pointer. Either you can write PTR arrow the structure member name, or otherwise you can write within parenthesis. Here parenthesis is very, very important. Within parenthesis, you write star PTR, then dot name. Okay. Now let us see how the star PTR dot name is going to give you the variable. Here, star PTR. First, you write the star as such. You know what is PTR now. PTR is nothing but ampersand S1. We have seen it in the previous slide. Instead of PTR, you can write ampersand S1, then dot name. Now you know that when you write star and ampersand after each other, they will cancel each other. So now it is similar to S1 dot name. So what we want to access S1 dot name only. That we are doing indirectly with the help of PTR. Now, if they tell you access the member of the structure by using pointer, either you can write PTR arrow operator name, or you can write within parenthesis star PTR dot name. Which method we generally prefer is the first method, because when you want to go for the second method, every time you have to put the parenthesis. Okay, so more operators you have to type in your keyboard. So they thought, why can't we introduce a simple approach which will simplify the work of the user? For that only they have introduced this arrow operator. So don't go for this method, but you should know that this is also correct. Okay, with this method also you can access the members of a structure. But always go for PTR arrow name. Now, if I want to access the age with the help of PTR, I can give PTR arrow age, or otherwise within parenthesis star PTR dot age. Both the methods are correct. Now, let us see a simple program to understand this. I am going to use the same program. Previously, I told you one program. The same program, now we are going to implement with the help of pointer variable. Previously, we did with the help of dot variable. We have accessed the members of the structure with the help of dot variable, but now we are going to access with the help of pointer. Okay. So first, I am creating a structure. This method is same as the previous one. Inside main, first you create a structure variable S1. Okay. After that, you create a pointer to the structure. So I have to write struct student star PTR. Okay. So this S1 is a normal structure variable, whereas this PTR is a pointer to the structure. Then the next step is you make this pointer PTR to point to S1. Pointing in the sense, store the address of the structure in the PTR. So I am writing PTR is equal to ampersand S1. Now, from the user, you try to get the name of the student and age of the student. For the name, we are going to use the function getAs. In getAs, use the syntax to access the member with the help of the pointer. Okay, I told you the step is write the pointer variable name, that is PTR, then write the arrow operator, that is nothing but minus and then greater than symbol, then write the member name. Here member name is name. Remember, name is a character array. In getAs function, no need to pass ampersand. It will automatically take the address by means of this array name. Okay. After that, try to read the age from the user. Age is as integer, so I have to use scanf %t. In integer, you have to give ampersand symbol, because compiler will, with the help of ampersand symbol only, it will identify that, okay, I have to read the address, right? So now you have to give ampersand here. What we are going to access here is the age. So first write the pointer variable PTR, then write the arrow operator and then age. Okay. Now I obtained the details from the student user. I want to display the information on the screen. For that, I am going to write printf statement. Name is equal to %s comma. Again, write the same thing. PTR arrow name. Then when you are printing age, don't give ampersand again, because in printf generally we will give name of the variable only. Only in scanf we will give the address. Okay. So print the age by means of PTR arrow operator age. Now let us see the last program of today's class, that is dynamic memory allocation. So here, let me tell you what I want to do in this particular program. You have to create memory for certain n students in your system. Okay, so the number of students I will not give you when you are compiling the program. I will tell how many students are there only when you are running the program. So after you get the number of students from the user, you allocate the memory to that many students. Okay, so you are going to store two information about the student. For each student, you have to store the name as well as age. Okay, so in this very important thing is don't go for static memory allocation. You have to go for dynamic memory allocation. You allocate the memory after you read how many students are there in the class. Then after memory allocation is over, you try to read the value of all the members one by one from the user. Finally, you display them by means of pointer to the structure. Okay, so this is the question. Now let us see how to proceed with this. Okay, first I have to declare the structure. So I am writing struct student within parenthesis the members I am writing one by one. Now we will see how to go for dynamic memory allocation with this. First, you have to create a pointer variable because we need to go for dynamic memory allocation. In case of dynamic memory allocation, don't create struct student s of 10 like that. Don't create array of structure because our aim is we need to go for dynamic memory allocation. So create a pointer to the structure. So struct student star PTR. Now for this PTR, 8 memory locations will be allocated. Next, what I have to do is from the user, I have to get how many students are there in the class. So using ampersand ampersand n in the scanf percentage %t, I am getting the number of students n. Okay, now I am going to allocate the memory. So for allocating the memory, either you can use the function malloc or calloc. You know the difference between malloc and calloc. If you use malloc, you have to give only one argument. In case of calloc, you will give two arguments. Okay, in malloc, the initial memory will have some garbage value, whereas in calloc, it will have 0. This is the main difference between malloc and calloc. Now let us use malloc. In malloc, I have to specify one argument. So what is that argument? How many total memory locations you are going to allocate to this structure? Okay, you know that we need to create memory for n students. Okay, and every student will have certain number of memory locations. Somebody told her that it will occupy 14 memory locations. Okay, so how to get that 14? I don't know how many it will occupy. So I will use size of struct student. Here also you have to write struct student. If you write only student, you will get error. Okay, so n multiplied by size of struct student. This size of struct student will give 14 according to this example. Multiply that by n value. So now if you give n as 5, 5 multiplied by 14, that is 70 memory locations will be allocated to store the details of 5 students. Every student detail will take 14 memory locations. So totally we are allocating 70 memory locations. Now this malloc will return void pointer. Okay, so first you have to convert that pointer into the pointer of the required data type. Now what is the data type we are going to have? This pointer is nothing but pointer to the structure student. So you have to typecast this into struct student star. Okay, so you are converting. Typecasting is nothing but put this parenthesis. Within the parenthesis you will write to what type you want to convert. Now I want to convert the pointer into a pointer of struct student. So I am writing struct student star. Then it will return you the starting address of the allocated memory. 70 memory locations are allocated. It will return the starting address. That starting address you are going to store in the pointer PTR. Okay. Up to this, is this clear, students? This is the important thing you have to concentrate. How to allocate the memory using malloc. I have used malloc. Whatever memory I have allocated, they will contain garbage value. Now I have to read the data from the student and store it in the corresponding memory locations. So for that, since I am reading the details for n students, I have to use for loop. So for loop index is starting from I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Now, inside the for loop, I am going to read two details. One is the name, which is a character array. So I am going to give %s. Then I need to read age. Age is integer, so I am using %t. Now, what I have to give here? I have to give the address. Okay. So what address you have to give? First, I have to give the address of the first member. Okay, this PTR is going to give you the base address. If you want to get the address of the ith member, you have to use PTR plus I. Okay, PTR plus I will give you address of the ith member of the structure. Then you want to access the particular member of the particular structure. So use the arrow operator, then write the name of the structure. Okay, here structure member, that is nothing but name. Now here remember I am not writing ampersand. The reason is this name is nothing but it is a character array. So it will automatically give the base address. So no need to write the ampersand. Whereas I want to read the age. When I want to read the age, I have to give PTR plus I. Okay, so PTR plus I is going to give you ith member. Okay, now in scanf we have to put the ampersand symbol, then use the arrow operator and then age. Okay, so whatever we have seen in the previous slide, same thing only, but we are writing in terms of PTR plus I. There you have written only by the pointer, but now we are adding I to this. Why we are adding I is every time we have array of structures now, every element we have to move by I value, which is nothing but the index. For that I have given PTR plus I. If you do this, you will get the value for all the elements of the structure. You can store it in the memory. After that, you want to display them. When you want to display, again write one more for loop. For I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. In that, you are going to display the name. So I am using %s, then age, %t. Now what we are going to display? Value of the variables. Okay, so to display the value of the variable, you can simply write PTR plus I, arrow operator name. In case of strings, remember when you write like this, since you are using %s format specifier, compiler will be reading the characters one by one from this particular memory. When it encounters the null character, it will stop reading. In case of age, you want to print the age. For that, I am going to use PTR plus I, arrow age. Okay, remember for integer, floating point, double and other things, in scanf you will give ampersand, whereas in printf you will not give ampersand. Whereas if it is a string variable, in both the places you will not give ampersand. Okay, so that